let's go. Okay, that's right. Map. Welcome back. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, your tip from earlier gave me a very okay. Can actually read the blurbs of those books in the extras menu. Ooh, I like that. I'll have to check those out. There's that. Don't think there's anything extra in here. Telephone number. On the flyer. Oh! I completely... Oh. 555-312. I didn't even realize there was a number on the flyer because I could barely see it.
Hello? Is anybody there? Hello? Hello? Do you hear me?
You wouldn't know how few people actually find these things. That's fair. Then a horse's neigh. Things just keep getting out of here.
Well, bye then. Well, it's quite the party over there.
That's good. It'll be easier to mingle that way.
If we get there in time.
Yeah, we'd better go.
Alright, cool. That was a nice little Easter egg. Could also try the obvious number. Oh! I can't. My brain keeps trying to do 7 digits instead of 6, so. But yeah, 555555. I also didn't try this earlier.
Hello? Who's this?
Who's speaking?
Ma'am, I asked first.
But you called me.
Oh, well, maybe I misdialed.
This is 55555. Hard to misdial.
It took me almost 2 years to find that one myself. Just didn't tell me.
Yeah.
That's great.
Sorry to bother you, ma'am. Have a nice evening.
Is that you, Henry? Is this one of your pranks again?
No, ma'am, I'm not Henry.
You're crux, aren't you? Henry?
No, ma'am, I'm really not Henry.
All right, Henry, I get it. Come on over. I'm going to make you a nice, strong cup of tea.
Okay, then. I'm on my way.
Damn right. Bye, Henry.
Goodbye.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to know if my phone still worked.
We have to get you some fresh air immediately, pal.
So the one number I didn't try, the one that Sunny gave out at the very beginning, 555111.
Quavo PD, how can I help you?
Nothing. Forget it.
Oh, okay. So thought we'd get a little more out of that number. All right. Off to the Czar Club.
Midnight had passed, and the intoxicated madness kicked in. We could only crawl along Shalva District's main
You
streets
numbers that work
toward
later on.
downtown.
Cool. I'll have to try them when I
The
find them.
city's heart beat differently. Ancient buildings were defaced by neon signs and billboards, like half-drunk lovers on a fine leather sofa. Great old houses neighbored by garish modern blocks. A place that makes the head hurt. The Tsar's huge neon sign was visible for miles. A blazing red sign advertised tonight's main attraction, the amazing Natasha. Cops were never welcomed at places like this. I hoped we were too late for the show. We had to be inconspicuous, but it was never easy with this bird mountain by my side.
Ah, so this is the famous Tsar Club.
More like infamous, Marty. It's not for our kind, that's for sure. And I don't mean that they don't like foul here.
Well, at least we don't have to be afraid that they see you as a detective, Boss Bird.
Very funny, Marty.
So what are we gonna do now?
We find Natasha, the broad who sent me the message, remember? But first, we need to get into the club. And Marty, please, don't monkey this up.
PS version, you can feel that car that occasionally drives by moving through the controller from right to left. Oh, that would be awesome!
Excuse me? On behalf of the well-respected and noble primate community of Clawville?
Cut the crap, Marty. Let's focus on what we're here for, okay?
As you say, Boss Bird.
Alright, so we've got Lewis, Stork Lady. Lewis, what are you doing here, buddy? Bouncer, fancy car, newspaper advertisement tower. Start out with the sign here.
One day, neon signs will cover the whole world, I'm telling you.
You read that in some kind of science fiction book.
No, it's just what I think.
Oh, so you have your own thoughts now. The world's really moving forward.
Cluck off, Sonny.
I love that they use cluck off. That's fantastic. I enjoy that tremendously. Tickles me pink.
You know, seeing this, I can't wait for the show.
The girls?
New Year's Eve's once a year, right? And we're not on duty.
Have I asked how Laura's doing?
Whoa, hey, I was just kidding, okay? My relationship with Laura is unwavering, like the rhino beauty on this picture.
Interesting taste you've got.
Feathers, scales, or dermal armor, a lady's a lady, my friend.
Thank the wild gods for self-sacrificing gentlemen like you.
All right. Nope. All right. Newspaper.
Do you remember when the Clawville Chronicle was a really high-quality newspaper?
Me too. It's actually quite cleverly used in the narrative, since there are a few intense moments where some character break past the puns and chop straight up, drop the F-bomb. Yeah, like I forgot the name of our the boss dog, the Bloodhound. He told us to get the F out.
You mean when they wrote something about us daily?
Yeah. What exactly happened to them?
Well, they got bored with us, Marty. And to be honest, so did I.
Oh yeah, he's just always like that. Okay, fair enough.
But still, here we are working together again. Funny, huh?
Yeah, hilarious.
That goat character right there is one of my favorites, and I'll get to the goat here in a minute. As soon as I finish exploring around the rest of the stuff.
Huh, I like this.
Why is that?
I don't know. 'Cause it's moving, I guess.
You're a simple bird, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Alright, so they're advertising a Clawville story, as well as the Czar Club's dancers. Fancy car.
Oh, look at that. Isn't that the new...
It is, Marty. A brand new 942 Silver Hawk. Haven't seen such beauty since I left Averia.
Of all that's furry, whose is it?
Did you know that you can click everything more than once to get new dialogue? I have.
Maybe it's Ibn Wessler's. I guess he's no paper tiger.
Yeah, he sounds like a fellow who drives around in one of these. Lucky bastard.
Is it just one optional dialogue, or are there multiple cases
Tonight,
for dialogue?
maybe we'll be on the front page once again.
Oh, God forbid.
Tonight, maybe we'll...
Oh, God
Okay.
forbid.
It does look like only just once around. Okay.
Epur si muove.
Oh, bless you.
It means, and yet it moves, bird brain. An old wolf named Galileo said that.
Oh, I see. And what did he mean by that?
Dunno. I think there was something wrong with his stomach.
Ouch.
Yeah, I haven't done it with everything, but I do. It depends. There can be up to 4 unique texts for each object, but most of them just have 2. Ooh. Intriguing.
My city is on fire. This is it. It was on the flyer from Deborah. Maybe we'll get to hear it, if we're unlucky. From none other than our secret employer, Natasha Katsenko.
Ah, a job with benefits, huh?
Excuse me.
Don't be tasteless.
When you return to a scene after story progresses, there are new dialogues for everything.
Oh, I get it now. The title. Do you think it's about the Great Fire of Clawville?
Did you ever think of being a detective?
Ah, very funny.
Alright, so what else have I not? Hi, car. Advertisement tower, newspaper, fancy car, bouncer, entrance, Lewis, and the stork lady. Oh. Alright, man, gotta jet, but it's nice talking for a bit. Kelly, I'm glad you're having a lot of good time. Wish you tons of fun with this game. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the hints and little bits that you've pointed out, and it's gonna make me focus a little more harder on finding stuff in the game. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Hey, that's your old friend, right? Wait, what was his name? Lawrence? Lamar? No, Liam.
See you around.
Lewis. Yes, it's him.
To be honest, Sonny, I always thought that guy's not all there in the head.
Nobody's perfectly sane in Clawville, Marty. But if not for this old rabbit, I wouldn't be here today. I'll never forget that.
Should I thank him for that?
Or kill him for it.
You're reading my mind, boss.
Stork lady.
Honestly, I think these types of women only see faceless tuxedos, cufflinks, and wallets. And in the mirror, they're just brooches, necklaces, and earrings.
Don't be so radical, Marty. They're women. They live by different rules.
That was kind of deep.
It's not. Just bullshit. There's more where that came from.
Yeah.
Ooh, teach me, master.
When you're old and wise like me, you'll realize none of it is worth a damn thing.
Wait, that was deep again, right?
Maybe it was, Marty. Maybe it was.
Amazing.
Talk to Lewis.
Sonny, my dear friend.
Hi, Lewis. This is my partner, but I'm sure you already know.
You have no idea how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Marty. I'm a big admirer of your work.
Pleasure's all mine, Lawrence.
Lawrence? Anyways, so the legendary chicken police back together? Isn't it amazing news?
Don't ruffle my feathers, Lewis. Those days are long gone. We're just here for the entertainment. Or something like that.
I see. That's a shame.
See you inside?
I have something to do, my pal, but I'll try to make it for the main event.
Okay then. Catch you later, pal.
Okay.
Let's not bother her.
Okay, boss.
All right, let's talk to the bouncer. Let's look at him first.
Jeez, look at that guy.
That's not a guy. That's a demon. Straight from the dog-eared pages of a cheap detective novel.
Yeah, I bet his name's Bill.
Nah, he's definitely a Bob.
$5 for Bill?
Okay, I'm in.
Real quick, before we settle that debt. The debt. Anyway, let's look. We do have a couple more things. We have the Clawville Chronicle is the most read and most read and highest quality newspaper in the city. It's so famous that it's also being read beyond Clawville's borders and not just in the colonies. This was the paper that first published an article about the two heroic roosters, aka the Chicken Police. The article was written by Timothy Saltwater, the Seagull journalist who has since become somewhat of a legend himself. In Avira, a country inhabited exclusively by birds, to picturesque modern place governed by a democratic parliament. It's bordered by two seas, and its economy is built mostly on air transport, commerce, and its aerial military. Go figure. The country's on neutral terms with almost every other nation, and except for the Great Meat War, had kept its standpoint all throughout known history. I'm digging it. Alright, let's talk to the bouncer. Let's talk to him.
Howdy, pal.
Gentlemen, how can I help you on this wonderful, chilly night?
We're expected in the VIP lounge.
My apologies, but I don't remember ever seeing you gentlemen here before. May I ask?
Stop right there, big guy. I get it. Yeah, I know exactly how this works. So what do you have to do to get in?
Nothing's easier, sir. Are you on the list?
The list? Yeah,
Don't tell me you forgot.
I'm afraid I did, Marty. Sorry, big guy, but I'm pretty sure we're not on the list tonight.
That's a shame. I'm really sorry, sirs. In that case, you can't come in.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
New function, ask.
Look, I really don't want any trouble, but...
It is even more inconvenient for me, sir, but this place doesn't like coppers. Forgive this slang. I can't let just anybody in, and there are some I'm strictly forbidden to. Please, you have to understand.
Listen here, you cow. Do you have any idea who we are? You ever read the papers?
Of course, I know who you are, sir. I read the news and more, and I must admit it's an honor to meet you in person, Mr. Santino Featherland and Mr. Marty Machikin. The Bell of the Pantheress is one of my favorite books.
Oh my God, not the books again.
So it would be terribly inconvenient for me if I had to use force on you, gentlemen.
What did you just say?
Marty.
Relax, Marty. This guy has chicks like you for breakfast. Thanks for the information, pal. Have a nice night.
Thank you for understanding, gentlemen, and forgive me for my austere composition.
No problem, Shakespeare.
All right, how about Mr. Hayworth?
Say, big guy, you know Mr. Lewis Hayworth?
But of course, Mr. Hayworth is an impeccable gentleman, and also a frequent visitor of the club.
Is that so? Good to know. And?
I'm afraid that is all, monsieur.
And Natasha.
What can you tell me about the first lady of the place, big guy?
You mean Miss Natasha Katsenko, sir?
You're right on point, pal.
Nothing you don't know already, sir.
Just try me.
Well, she owns the place.
And, that's it? Well, that's, unbelievable.
Pardon, monsieur, but I'm not permitted to say anything more.
Just one more thing. This list of yours, where should we sign up again?
I'm afraid if you don't know, it's not my place to tell you, sir. Excusez-moi, the regulations, you know.
You hear that, Sonny?
I do, Marty. I do.
I'm gonna lose my crest from this guy. Just wait.
Just don't get too excited, Marty. Not tonight. Anyway, thanks, pal.
All right. Let's see here. Let's see.
Tonight?
Oh, God.
Tonight?
Oh, God. What a beautiful...
A work of art.
Seeing it and thinking about my little rusty cobbit breaks my heart.
Ah, don't torture yourself, Sonny. Only way we're ever gonna drive one of them is if we sign up for the mob.
Maybe it would be worth it.
I think we'd be great gangsters in another life.
Nah.
Look, Lewis, that bouncer over there.
Well, yes. He is a bit intimidating, but his manners are impeccable. Am I right?
Yes, indeed, but it seems tonight we're not on his list.
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. I get it. You'd like to go in, but he won't let you.
Yeah, something like that.
No, no problem at all. Come with me. I'll talk to him.
Much obliged, pal.
Yeah, thanks, Bunny.
Excuse me.
Ah, jeez, what the hell's wrong with you, Marty?
Marty,
What? Did I say something wrong?
you called him a bunny. He's not a bunny, he's a rabbit. All right, let's talk to him again.
Sir, how'd you do?
Everything's fine, Mr. Hayworth.
Good. Look, this noble pair of pigeons are my friends. They're on the list, okay?
L'argent, sir.
And as for you, you owe me one, gentlemen.
Thanks, old pal.
It was my pleasure to help you, as always.
Thank you, Lewis. In we go.
The jazz overwhelmed us. There was no band in sight, yet the music seeped from the walls like years of cigarette smoke and the smell of spilt whiskey. Behind the bar, rows of fancy bottles reflected the harmonious voices of pretty dames and the clinking of crystal glass. It was the kind of place that makes you drunk, even if you've never had a sip. A dangerous place for someone like me. No matter how alien I felt, it was strangely like coming home. Welcome to the Czar. Well, here we are.
Mother of...
I take you to the nicest places, eh, sweetheart?
Oh, does it mean you're buying, honey?
Don't even think about it.
Oh, men these days. So, we're here to find a dame called Natasha.
I have a hunch she won't be hard to find. Let's mingle and try to avoid suspicion.
Just like always.
No, Marty, not like always. This time it's for real.
All right, good deal. I'm gonna go ahead and step off screen for just a second. I'm not going to intermission. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, well, hello there. And all sorts of a view. Fancy whiskey.
Look, Sonny, I know it's not my place, but Laura's father went to that guy when his, problems had gone too far.
You're treading on thin ice, Marty.
No, I just... Look, fellas at the station are talking, All kinds of things. Moses, Plato, Bosco, and the others.
Talking, eh? About what? About why Blood Boil took my badge? About what an untrustworthy alcoholic wreck I am?
Look, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
Good, and let it stay that way.
At least we're cracking this one together, yeah?
Sure, Marty.
Nope. All right, let's see what else we got here. Scroll, we got Big Muck, Stage, Fox Fella, couple I can't even interact with, Henchman, movie posters.
Huh. Another Lupus movie. Jeez. Is there nothing today they're not trying to sell with this guy?
Whoa, don't be rude, Sonny. Lupus is a timeless genius. Have you seen Predator City? God, I'm still getting chicken bumps. But wait, who's that next to him?
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Nah, never heard of her.
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Oh, gods, even her name makes me go weak in the knees.
Watch your blood pressure, pal.
Don't mind me, just women and guns are my only weakness.
No shit.
Remember the name, Marty. Cassandra Ruby Faye.
Marty, shut up.
I love the dialogue.
You think this is one of those movies where the femme fatale gets everything in the end and the poor detective's left stranded?
Yep, just like life.
You're old, Sonny. I mean, experienced. Have you ever met a woman like that in real life? Who floors you with a glance and leaves only heartbreak?
Well, actually...
Oh, I didn't mean to... I'm sorry, Sonny.
All right, what do we got next? Murder my tweet.
Ooh, I've seen this. Hicks Poodle plays a private eye, hired to look for a woman, then gets into some kind of blackmail thing that's connected to the first case, and...
Hey, Marty?
What, yeah?
I don't give a shit.
Nah.
It's a classic, and kind of reminds me of the situation we're in right now.
You and me both, Marty.
How so?
I don't know. A mysterious case, a mysterious woman, strange threats, some off-duty investigation.
So?
Like, think about it. What if we're in a movie, and this whole mess is just fiction?
Marty, I think you're having a nervous breakdown.
Oh, I know this fodder guy. He was kind of good in Death of the Horse.
Hang on a second.
You've seen every clucking movie.
You know, Laura and I go to the movies a lot. When was the last time you went?
Exactly 12 years ago.
Oh, you remember that precisely? Let me guess. Molly?
Yep, our very first date.
I see. What did you watch?
I don't remember. I just remember her and nothing else.
You're a clucking poet. I mean it.
What weird titles these have. What weird...
Is that the last one? Yeah, that's the last one I can see. All right. Let's see. We got the henchman. Oh, can we look at the stage? We can. It's an empty stage at the moment.
I was hoping to have missed the main event.
You're a rusty old cock, that's why.
So says the little butt jam.
But what? That's not even a word.
It is now, all because of you. You should feel honored. Butt jam.
You know, Sonny, sometimes you're like an evil little child.
Butt jam's good.
What is it, butt jam?
Nothing, old fart.
Let's start with the bartender, I guess.
A man's best friend.
That's not a dog, Sonny. That's a horse. He just has a very weird mane.
I didn't mean him, Marty. I meant the bar.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, because that totally makes sense.
All right, let's talk to the bartender.
2 whiskeys, kid, and no horsing around.
I've never heard that one before. Sonny, you gotta drive, you know?
I love the fact that he's polishing the glass. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you're right, Marty. Hey, Longface, give me a glass of tap water, too, okay?
Yes, sir. Coming right up. That wasn't exactly what I meant.
All right, let's ask the bartender, not
Tell
Natasha.
me, hey, Breath, have you seen Natasha tonight?
Not yet, sir. But she's coming on soon.
Well, can you tell me anything about Mr. Ibn Wessler?
Sir, I don't want to.
What about, let's see, $5 maybe?
But, sir, you haven't even paid for your drinks yet. Yeah, stop riding on the details, Big Nose. You do your job, and we'll do ours, okay?
I mean, we're not here for work, of course. We're just here to relax.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Just a little fun. Of course, gentlemen.
All right, that's it there. Let's talk to the waitress. Let's
She
look at
has
the waitress.
pretty long legs. I mean, pretty and long legs for a squirrel, but I don't want to be prejudiced.
We're not here to stare at pretty squirrels. We're here to investigate, remember?
That girl is looking at me.
She's just looking at anyone whose glass is empty, Marty. That's all.
No, Sonny. She was staring at me, like, hard. Now, I saw it.
Marty, you're imagining things. Oh, wait a second.
You see that, right? She's looking right at us with those big, black, weird squirrel eyes.
Okay, Marty, don't panic. And just look elsewhere and walk away slowly.
Creepy little squirrel girl.
I don't know if I want to talk to Falconhead yet. It's looking big buck.
So, where the hell is Natasha?
Let's ask that stud over there with those nice gals.
That guy looks way too horny for my taste.
Oh, man, your sense of humor is bad as ever.
You just need to get used to it again.
What? This is the life, huh? What's this guy do? Real estate? Mob accountant? Or is he a movie star?
He looks like a coat hanger to me.
That was actually worse than the previous joke.
Heh, I try.
Nah. Stage fox fella.
A fox is a wolf who sends flowers.
What?
Oh, nothing. I read it somewhere.
Fascinating. I didn't know you could read.
Ha ha ha. Very funny.
Yeah. Nothing about this. Alright, henchman, I guess. Let's look at him.
This guy is certainly not a gangster henchman.
Of course he's not.
I guess we'll have to talk to the Falcon.
Hey, there's Filmar.
Filmar, huh?
Who? Oh, yes. Filmar. Because that's what he calls himself, right?
You know him well?
We had some seriously wild cases together, yes. Mainly in Averia, way before Clawville. Another place and another life.
Sounds good. Like the blurb of some cheap pulp fiction book.
Yeah, 1 second here.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite. But the old bird's worth saying hi to.
Speaking of, hi Filmar. What's up?
Well, well, if it isn't the great detective, Marlowe.
Blow me, Sonny. You know I don't use that name anymore.
Okay, Mr. Dumbass alias Filmar Lowe.
So says someone who tried to go undercover with a Feather Pillow Mafia is a turkey. Right, Mr. Turk Cayman?
Hey, that was a long time ago. I was young.
And I stick to my principles and my stupidity. Phil Marlowe, and that's that. Don't rile me up, you old fart.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I'm a little clucked tonight.
I know the feeling, pal. By the way, what are you two doing here? You stick out a bit. Are you here for a good old-fashioned beating?
We stick out? Man, you look terrible. Like someone who sat on an electric pole.
Don't even ask. I feel exactly like that.
You want a case?
5 feet tall, half of that legs, angelic voice, demonic eyes, just the usual.
Oh, boy.
And you?
Something like that. Just don't know the exact numbers yet. A dame named Natasha. She called us here. If I'm not mistaken, the joint is hers.
Yeah, she owns the joint, amongst others. Well, good luck, guys. That broad has a reputation. She's not the kind to toy with, if you know what I mean.
Any useful information?
For free?
Stop clucking around, Filmar.
All right, but just because of the old days. Look for me after you've talked to her. You wouldn't understand what I have to say about her before then. Don't leave unless you're thrown out, in which case, you know the drill. We don't know each other, I'll deny you in a blink.
Good to see you too, old pal. We'll be back.
Boy. Somebody new just walked into the frame, so to speak. Clues. Good old Filmar must know something about Natasha. Natasha could be important for the case, but he won't talk until I meet her. He seemed a bit nervous. It must be something really significant. And speaking of which, good old Filmar. Phil Marlowe, he's a falcon, an absolutely average, forgettable guy, and my old acquaintance from Elvira. Fillmore, the name he goes by nowadays, is an old comrade from before the Clawfield times. He's one of the best private eyes in the city, and just like most of them, he gets into trouble with the law pretty often. Yet, he's one of the very few people who can still be trusted in Clawville. Good deal. Somebody just walked around there. Aha! Henchman.
Hey, Marty, I bet you wouldn't dare to go up to him and ask if he hasn't seen your fur coat.
What? Why? I'm mad, yeah, but not suicidal.
Ah, are you chicken or what?
Piss off, old bird.
Nah, chicken shit.
Oh, look!
Isn't that...
Yes, it is. The great Ibn Wessler, in the flesh. So much for our incognito.
You think he noticed us?
Only if he's not entirely blind.
Great.
And yet we have to talk to him.
Just act nonchalant, my friend.
No, it can't be.
What now?
Is that Olivia?
No, Marty.
Hey, Olivia.
Are you talking to me?
It's me, Marty McChicken.
Oh, God.
Eh,
What a pleasant surprise. The Rooster Copper's in person.
Chicken police. But yeah, Mr. Wessler, you could say so. The name's...
Sunny Featherland, of course, of course. Chicken police. Your partner is, he is,
Marty McChicken, sir. I just introduced myself to your lady companion seconds ago.
Oh yeah. I'm so happy to see you.
Hello, boys.
So, to what do we owe this pleasure, gentlemen?
Yeah, so, we were, just in the neighborhood, and...
Cut the crap, Marty. All right, we're here for your sweetheart, Natasha.
Oh, I see.
No big deal. Just a blackmail thing. You know, horrifying threats written on the wall with blood-red paint. The usual stuff. You must be familiar with this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, indeed. It's nasty business. But I didn't know Natasha hired a detective because of this simple matter. But to be honest, I understand. I would have taken matters into my own hands, you see. But I'm kind of busy.
Mr. Wessler had a meeting with Attorney General Hamtaro yesterday, so he's rather tired. If you would excuse us.
Oh, dear Olivia, it's okay. These gentlemen are just doing their job, right? And if I've heard correctly, they're notoriously thorough. So, how can I help you?
We've got a few questions, if you don't mind.
I'm at your service.
very, very talkative. Let's check out a couple things here. For example, we got a picture. We also have Olivia. Olivia Blackwig. Crow, female, unusually tall and slim for a crow. She is quiet and mysterious. Olivia is currently Ivan Wessler's assistant and escort. Finding out whether there's anything other than a working relationship between Miss Crow and Mr. Rat could prove valuable. I also apparently have something else in my inventory. When did I pick up a bottle of scotch?
Come to daddy, darling.
Calling booze darling, it's kind of weird, don't you think?
Says someone who calls his gun collection his harem.
Touché. I'll shut it.
Good birdie.
Yeah, that's great. All right, what you got for me? What about the club?
Nice bunker you got here.
Well, thank you, but it's not mine. Not anymore. But I'm sure you already know that. Listen, detective. If you want to know something, please ask straight, huh?
All right, Mr. Wessler, let's make this a bit more professional.
Ooh, I got questioning. Let's talk about him.
I'm not as exciting as people tend to believe. I grew up in a poor family of many siblings. I'm the only one still alive, unfortunately. My career started with a shoe store, and now, here I am.
I wouldn't call that an average life. Shoe store owner to mob boss.
How dare you speak to Mr. Wessler like that?
Leave it, Olivia, dear. It's just provocation.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Mr. Wessler. Shall we talk about something else?
How about Mr. Hayworth?
Everybody knows Mr. Hayworth. He's an antique piece of furniture in this city, so to speak.
Only a bit worn out.
It's not my fault that he's so much in debt, detective, but the name of his family still rings quite loud in Clawville.
Is that still worth anything?
The name is just their name, of course, but the man behind the name is another matter, Mr. Featherland.
You're a pragmatic rat.
Thank you.
Natasha.
Look, detective, if you want to know something, just ask.
All right, Mr. Wessler.
And Olivia.
Has your assistant been working for you long?
Are you talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you, ma'am.
Let me answer your question then. I've been in Mr. Wessler's employment for 6 months. Why do you ask?
Oh, just routine questioning, you know. Most of them aren't good for anything. Just killing time.
It sounded rude to me.
Yeah, please forgive her, detective. Olivia's a real firecracker.
Alright, I guess let's try my hand at questioning again.
Wessler is a tricky guy. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about him, so I have to be cunning. I can't just pin him against a wall. Yet.
Yeah, we're already kind of low on the
How
detective
did you
meter.
feel when you heard about the blackmail?
Honestly, I found it ridiculous.
And now?
Now I'm kinda interested. But I wouldn't call it blackmail yet. They're just empty threats. There were no demands.
Good point.
Thank you. Are we done?
No, not quite.
Okay, Hannah, give me a second here. Do this and do that. Perfect.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Alright, mistrustful. Let's ask what he
You
does.
seem a very busy man. May I ask what you do?
It's, uninteresting.
Would you elaborate?
I got a small share in the meat substitute business. If the new product works, maybe we can make your job easier.
You mean reduce predation in Clawville?
There are such plans. If you're interested, talk to Olivia, my assistant. She's an expert in what she does, unlike me.
Thank you. That's it for now.
Alright, how'd that go? Very taciturn.
You're very taciturn, Mr. Wessler, though I've heard you're quite the speaker.
Look, I'll gladly talk to anyone about business, and even happier to talk about art. But I'm no fan of interrogation on a night out. Are you even on duty?
Sorry for any offense, Mr. Wessler. Let's talk about something else.
And
Wessler is tougher than I thought. And he's secretive. It's time to gently beat around the bush. Don't you find these messages dangerous?
That specific word is, it's insulting and obscene, and unfortunately, everyone could see it on the street. I'm sure you know they painted it on the wall.
I know.
Well, yeah, it's unpleasant but no threat in itself. I put it down to some jealous showgirl or a deluded fan. Nothing more.
Jealousy can be dangerous.
Yeah, most crazies are harmless.
You know that firsthand?
Anything else?
Is this going well?
Business going well, Mr. Wessler?
Yeah, depends on which one.
Real estate, catering, charity, protection, extortion, bribing cops, contraband, the usual.
Funny guy.
How are the casinos?
Fine, thank you. Yeah, gambling has always been a good business. Luck is expensive around here.
Damn, if only I knew that. I heard gambling was illegal.
And I've heard you're not on the force at the moment.
Then it seems we have a fair fight.
On uneven ground, Mr. Featherland. I'm not sure I'd stand on it for long, if I were you.
That was candid.
Yeah, I try to be clear.
Gets me back up to even. Start talking straight.
Talking straight, Wessler. There's no point in wasting each other's time.
You know what? You're right. And there's no point in spoiling my mood, is there? Olivia will show you out, but if you insist, yeah, I can give you an alternative escort. Is that straight enough for you?
Nice one, Sonny. Indeed, Mr. Wessler, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Don't be so cocky, copper. It can be dangerous at your age.
Oof.
Is everything all right between you and Natasha?
Yeah, you don't beat around the bush, do you? Understandable, I guess. Naturally, our relationship is stable and perfect. I'm the setting, she's the gemstone. Yeah, if you know what I mean.
I rarely hear such poetry, but I understand exactly what you mean, Mr. Wessler.
So, you have your answer.
No recent friction?
Wouldn't you like to know?
It would make my job easier.
Yeah, it would only lead you astray. So be glad that I tell you no. No friction.
Ibn is quick-tempered, and I can use that to my advantage. I've confounded and softened him with my previous questions. Now it's time to be specific and ruthless.
Even though I'm in the negatives? Yeah, +5.
Would you be willing to testify at the station?
You're joking, right?
Maybe I can get you an invitation. Believe me, you'd love it. The coffee's good, but the chairs are kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have a peculiar sense of humor. It doesn't work.
I feel ya.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And
So Natasha feels like she's in grave danger, yet she's still going out alone.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. But I'm 100% sure of her loyalty. She's gone out very rarely since this started, and mostly in my company. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure if you do, but in our social circles, banquets and dinners are frequent.
Illegal gambling nights.
You got me there. Yeah, you're right. Natasha is crazy about the roulette wheel.
Always putting it all on the red, right?
Yeah, you're a real rotten bastard, Sonny. Although, yeah, always on the red. You're right.
So, Can we meet your lady?
I don't see why not. But first, please, listen to her sing. She's on soon.
Questioning rank, awful. I got 2. Bad, Copper. Yeah, I'm awful.
Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
I have no doubt about that, unfortunately.
Hey, we should grab a coffee or something, Olivia. You know, for old time's sake.
Pleasure to meet you, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Oh,
Please, take a seat. The show's gonna start soon.
Do you actually know this Olivia person, Marty, or are you just clucking? Hello. Her eyes are actually colored. Very interested. I hope this isn't copyright. I don't think so, but put my controller down for this because I'm gonna enjoy it.
Sonny. Sonny.
It's dead.
Intriguing game zone.
That was, unique.
Oh, that is cute. Nobody has ever given me such a unique compliment before.
Forgive me, my name is Santino Featherland.
I thought so. You look more or less like I imagined.
More or less.
Sometimes less is more, Mr. Featherland.
You were amazing, dear, as always.
Could you be my little furball and fetch me a cocktail?
But of course.
Eben will be back soon. We'll have a few minutes to talk. Then he'll end the conversation and throw you both out.
As he hasn't already tried to do so once already.
With all due respect, ma'am, we're not that easy to get rid of. Doesn't matter who's trying, believe me.
Doesn't matter, he'll do it. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want a scene. My room's upstairs. Meet me there in 20 minutes. Come alone, Sonny. You'd be too conspicuous otherwise.
Hey.
I understand. You know, they call him Target Marty at the station.
I don't have time, Mr. Featherland.
Sure thing, Natasha. I'll come to your room. 3 knocks, a short pause, then another 3.
I'll be waiting. Go, before he comes back.
I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being, and it attracted me, like light attracts the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin. But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Just keep your distance.
Alright, all sorts of stuff in here. Actually, not a lot. painting.
Gee, that is a unique picture and kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Yes, I admit it's a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine. A most wonderful artist.
He's got an eye, that's for sure, considering his model.
Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment?
I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway.
Oh, you're funny.
This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination.
Mirror.
I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself?
Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, that's a very good question.
I was just trying to be rude.
Oh, really? Well, then I'm sorry.
Don't mention it.
Oh, Sonny, what are you gonna do? What are we getting ourselves into?
This woman's aware of...
Alright, so are you ready?
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
in a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
You know, men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do what you do best.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
Oh, you do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Oh, please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure.
Alright, new personal info. Let's go check out the book. Got clues. Ibn's trying very hard to change the subject when it comes to threats. He obviously knows more than he's willing to tell. Natasha. Natasha Katzenko, cat, female. She has remarkably green eyes, and she is definitely in trouble. So am I. Natasha's a mysterious woman indeed, and seems dangerous too, but she's undoubtedly in serious trouble. The question is she the source of the problem, or is it someone else? And Ibn, I keep forgetting his pronunciation. He's currently busy with some kind of meat substitute business. That's what he and his assistant told us, anyway. Speaking of assistant, did we get... Yep, okay, we do have Olivia. Alright, Natasha, let's start questioning.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger.
start with her performance.
That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time, but this stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
Let's talk about the
The
picture.
picture on the wall is quite daring.
Only if you knew how old I was at the time.
I think I'm on a slippery slope here.
Come on, don't be shy. Ask me.
All right. How old were you?
Did you really believe I'd tell you?
You're quite a player, aren't you?
Life is anything but a game, detective.
Well, you tell me.
I have 5. Myers.
Do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats?
Those who admire me usually idolize me. No, I don't think it's one of them.
You know, the soul of an animal is extremely complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a bad look or some small rejection to turn admiration into hate.
That's a stillborn theory. No one hates me if they once loved me, Mr. Detective.
Ah, I see. Why Deborah? She's a nice girl, but why didn't you come to me?
Didn't you ask her the same thing already?
I did, but I like to hear it from all sides.
Well, since this whole thing started, I admit I'm not too keen on leaving my home. When I do, it's only with an escort.
Ibn Wessler has nothing to do with this?
Ibn has everything to do with me. Almost everything. But I didn't want to upset him with this. He thinks I'm overreacting.
Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know. What was in those threats, exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So,
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
Humor me.
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore. Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
What about Fillmore?
What about Fillmore? Is he here because of you?
Mr. Lowe helped me before, and yes, he was the first I approached.
You've managed to curb my enthusiasm a little.
Doesn't keeping 2 irons in the fire give me a better chance? But you don't have to worry. He didn't find anything. And he's not interested anymore, no matter how much I offer to pay him.
Why?
You'll have to ask him.
I think I'll do that.
All right. So it's not a fan and not an inside job. Who did you expect?
So it's not a fan and not an inside job. Who do you suspect?
Aren't you supposed to know that?
Usually, yes. But I've got nothing to go on. And you don't have a hunch.
Maybe I do. But first, I want to know if you'll even accept my case.
I'm here, aren't I?
That's true, but I must know if I can trust you.
The proof of the pudding is in the eating.
I wish it was that simple.
Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here.
Half expecting her to shoot me.
Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you, no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator, or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse, too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Cluck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing.
There's that cluck me again. You played me from the start.
You played me from the start, didn't you?
It wasn't my intention.
I'm an old cock, Natasha. I've played too many of these games, and I've been on the losing side often enough.
So, you're going to walk away?
You're damn right. I don't know if it's worth it for me.
Look, Sonny, money's not an issue.
Oh yeah, your fawn had already mentioned that. But unfortunately, it'll be hard to spend all that dough when I'm dead.
Dead? Don't even say that.
Do you have a gun?
Me?
Of course you, Natasha. Do you have it on you?
Not at the moment.
Well, let me give you some advice. Keep it with you, always. Maybe in your purse.
You don't think they, whoever they are, would hurt me?
Don't be naive, Natasha.
You're right. I'll keep it with me.
I don't want to scare you, but 2 cops snooping around can mess something like this up, even if it's just 2 roosters.
You'll keep snooping? Thank you, Sonny.
Maybe you're getting yourself into even deeper trouble with me. Thank me when this is all over.
Question your rank. Oh, I did better. 4 stars. All right.
Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know,
Please, this is very important to me.
sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Alright, we got a new item. A key. And then quick stuff. We got a bunch of clues. Natasha's afraid and her fear is genuine, but she isn't telling me everything regardless, and I don't like it. Natasha's invited me over to her weekend house to show me something. In any other situation, I'd be glad about it, but in this case, I'm worried. The threat, or rather the threatening word in the messages sent to Natasha is simple. It's simply, whore. It's brief, but it says a lot, regardless. Alright, and then people, Filmar. It seems Filmar also used to forget Natasha, but he got out of the case before the ground got too hot. Anyway, he kept a piece of evidence, as any good PI would do, which could be very useful to us. Alright, Mr. Natasha. We're out.
Weren't you supposed to be waiting in the car?
I was bored to tears, Sonny. I also thought maybe something happened to you.
You thought Natasha had eaten me alive, huh?
Well, who knows? You're such a fragile little thing.
I'm too old for this, Marty.
Then next time, leave the dangerous predators to me.
I didn't mean that, Marty. I meant you.
Oh.
Alright, anything else to really... Now they separated. Henchman Olivia, huh?
Wessler's secretary.
Olivia Blackwig. You think she knows anything useful?
It's worth a try, Marty, but let me do the talking. She's not very fond of you.
What can I say? You know, back in the day, I flew from tree to tree. I was a free bird. Maybe I was playing her a bit.
Alright, Olivia.
Oh, it's you. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Look, we really don't want to dig into your personal life, but...
But what exactly is my relationship with Mr. Wessler? And how close am I to him?
You don't beat around the bush, ma'am.
Well, actually, I remember.
I don't have time to chit-chat, Mr. Featherland. So yes, I'm not one to beat around the bush. And no, I'm not sleeping with Mr. Wessler.
Well, thanks for the quick and straight answer.
Anything else?
Ask about the club.
Do you come here often, Olivia?
No, not really.
Well, okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
How about Ivan?
You know, Ibn's not as ferocious
Ibn.
as you'd think. On the contrary, he's become very different recently.
I heard. Don't you find that weird? A sudden change of heart?
Sometimes an animal just has enough. Fed up and wants a change. I deeply respect that.
Well, thank you for your honesty, ma'am.
About Natasha.
What's your relationship with Miss Natasha Gutsenko?
We've talked a bit, that's all.
There's no tension between you? You know, the pretty secretary.
Oh, thank you for your compliment, Mr. Featherland. No, no tension. Natasha's an intelligent woman. I respect her.
Is that mutual?
That I can't tell.
And
If I'm not mistaken, Natasha has a weekend house in Flowerville.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell me anything about it?
I've never been there. Allegedly, it's beautiful. Elegant and luxurious. Just like Natasha herself.
alright, what do you know, Mr. Henchman?
What a lovely kitten. Excuse me, pal. My name is Santino Featherland.
Gabriel, what do you want? Chickens.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Wessler went?
Do you take me for a fool? Get out of here while I'm in a good mood, birds.
Okay. Thanks, big boy.
And run away! We got some new fun info here. Alright, first, Ibn. After the show, Ibn left the Tsar Club suspiciously fast. Marty dated Olivia for a short period of time. That's it! I don't want to know more about this! And of course, we learned about one, Mr. Gabriel the Grinder Antipov. He's a lynx, quiet and deadly. He's most likely from Stonia. This Bobcast most likely Ibn Wessler's goon. Alright, good on us. Anything else?
Remember that old case with the fox and the raven?
How could I even forget?
Absurd, right? All that bloodshed for a piece of cheese.
I want to know more about that case.
Yeah, hunger can bring out the monster in animals, right?
And the wildest and most primordial instincts, no matter how civilized they seem.
As you say, Marty.
Remember that...
Oh, gosh, Marty, where do you dig these out?
My mind is a bottomless pit, my friend. Was the rabbit a runner? And the turtle was what, his buddy, or?
His dealer, actually.
Ah, yeah, you're right. We found the rabbit near the river with a missing leg. Brutal stuff.
2 missing legs, actually, but yeah.
What happened with the turtle in the end? It's a little bit blurry.
Your bottomless pit of a mind is a dark and sad little place. The turtle thought he would run faster if he ate the legs of the rabbit.
You know what? This city's seriously fucked up.
It is, Marty.
There's that F-bomb.
Ah, this is the life, huh?
He looks like...
that was...
I tried.
Okay, we have a previous joke there. Waitress.
Creepy little squirrel... Creepy little squirrel girl.
What about the bartender?
Hey, Big Nose, where did Mr. Wessler go?
Unfortunately, I don't know, Big Face. But I wouldn't tell you even if I did. Really?
Say, did anyone ever tell you that you're an irritating piece of
Anything else, dear sirs?
Alright, Fillmore. What do you know?
So, have you talked to Natasha?
In fact, yes. She was, kind of mysterious.
I bet she was. You know, I've never abandoned a case before. Not voluntarily, anyway. But that woman...
You're, too old for this shit, huh?
As you say, pal.
That's exactly how I felt, too.
Before you leave, take this and examine it closely.
What is it?
The reason I've decided all of this is not worth it for me.
Wow, that sounds encouraging.
Take care of yourselves, guys. This case, maybe it goes deeper than you'd think.
Oh, that makes my feathers stand on end.
Ah, old croakers. You're safe while I'm here. Okay, I didn't say anything.
Alright, let's ask about...
The truth is, Ibn's a dirty bastard, but he's likable. It must be his charisma that snared Natasha.
Maybe there's more to it than simple wild love.
Who knows? Animals commit the dirtiest of deeds for wild love.
You've got a point.
About Natasha.
Wonderful girl. Either I'm gonna kill her or I'm beginning to like her.
Ow, Pop.
That's funny. I swear I've heard that before.
Huh, to be honest, me too.
What about the weekend house?
So, Natasha invited us to her weekend house.
That's either very good news or very bad news.
50%. That's not that bad, is it?
That's an admirable attitude.
Attitude, yeah, he's got that. Most of the time, I think that's all he's got.
Hey,
And what about Olivia?
Who is this woman anyway? She's like Ibn Shadow. Nobody knows anything about her.
I don't know if she has anything to do with the case, but it's worth keeping an eye on her anyway.
More women, more trouble.
You already fantasizing?
Even the sight of young women make me tired. Anyway, most people say she's the rat's lover too. But next to Natasha, I doubt he'd want her. Anyway, the pussycat would have already torn her to shreds.
Could be.
Alright, cool. That's it there. Just make sure I didn't miss anything else. Big Buck, Stage, Foxfella, Gabriel, Olivia, and all the movie posters. Stage.
you know, Sonny, I love Laura, and I swear I'm gonna marry her one day. But I gotta admit, that Natasha woman has turned even my head.
I wouldn't mess with Laura if I were you, pal. Wouldn't even think about it. There are few women as dangerous as her, and not just because she's a predator.
You're telling me.
Bourbon moon hangs in the sky.
Okay, that was good. What did he hand us? A slip of paper.
We stepped into it, didn't we?
Names and
Of
numbers.
all that's furry, what kind of a list is this?
Exactly. I have no idea, but I don't even want to find out.
Those names, all top dogs. Maybe they play cards together.
Sure, that's very likely. Anyway, I pried this list out of a dead man's hand. Somebody dropped him outside the forest, a few miles from the Wessler residence.
I should have known she was keeping secrets.
Keeping secrets? She's the secret herself.
Thanks, Filmar. This could be important.
Don't thank me. Maybe I've just signed your death warrant.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh, shut up, Marty.
Alright, now I get a new location out of the deal. Clues. Whoops. Next page. I only recognized a few names on the list Fillmore shoved into my hand, but all of them belong to the respected elite of Clawville. It could be a Reading roster, but I doubt that's the case. People of Natasha! The list with all those imposing names must have something to do with Natasha, and thus with the threats too. And last thing is the places. The Weekend House, Natasha Kazenko's Weekend House. It stands in the cleanest and most separated quarter of the city, in Flowerville. I'm curious about what she's hiding there. That means we have a map. I go back to Hot Dog. And back to Clawville. Let's go to Hot Dog.
Ooh, a nice cup of coffee a la Zip, huh?
We're not here for the coffee, Marty. Zip always knows more than what he lets on. It'd be worth interrogating the old trash panda.
If he forgave us for wrecking his joint last time.
He'll never forgive us, Marty, but we helped him out of trouble so many times, he's not gonna have any choice.
I hope you're right, old bird.
Alright, anything new?
guys, out of 2,000 joints in the city, how to end up here, huh?
Hello to you too, Zip. How's it hanging?
I had no problems until now.
Ah, don't be such a drama queen. We just want to ask you a couple of questions, then we're out of here.
And we won't even trash your place this time. What do you say?
I say let's get it over with very, very quickly, chickens.
Relax, pal. We'll be as fast as a hummingbird.
I'm not your pal, and you're as far from a hummingbird as I'm from a polar bear.
Oh, come on, Zip. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Who are you?
Damn it, what's the scribbler doing here?
Sniffing some juicy story?
I think I still owe him a great big left hook.
What did he do this time?
Oh, nothing. Just since I first met him, I wanted to punch him in the face.
I can understand that.
Alright, his name is Timothy, apparently.
Hello, Timothy. Scribblers don't celebrate New Year's.
Hello, boys. What a pleasure to see you. Answering your question, no, not really. Not me, anyway. I'm always where the story is.
Mm-hmm. And where's the story now? I can't see it anywhere.
It just stepped through the door, pal.
Oh, you mean us? Well, I think I'll have to disappoint you.
The chicken police are back together? I can't let that go without an ink stain, am I right?
No, Timmy, you can. We're not working. We're just having a little fun, that's all.
I'm not buying that, boys.
You'll have to, Tim.
We'll see about that.
Let's take a look about our certain bird brain here. Timothy Saltwater, Seagull, loud, annoying, and overly enthusiastic, and unfortunately, he is the #1 fan of the Chicken Police. Scribbler Tim, real name Timothy Saltwater. He's a douchebag, a real nosy bastard, and an annoying little shit. But still, I have to admit, he is the best investigative reporter in Clawville. Back in the day, he had a big part in the Chicken Police becoming what we were for a long time. A real stars cops. Alright, fancy whiskey.
Look what we found, Zip.
Furry hell, who'd you beat to death for that?
Beat to death? Who do you think we are? We simply confiscated it.
You sneaky broilers, I'll give you $50 for it.
Don't make me laugh. It's worth 3 times that.
Oh, come on, give me a break.
Tough luck, Trash Panda.
Philmar.
We also ran into Philmar.
Philmar? Who's that?
A grumpy old raggedy-ass hawk. His manners are even worse than mine. Ring a bell?
You mean Marlowe?
Was Marlowe. Now he goes by Philmar Lowe.
Oh, I see. So that means he's still alive? Yeah, I'm almost not surprised. The old guy has a reputation of being indestructible, huh?
He is. And he gave us something that could mean something.
Strange list of names.
Look at this, Zip.
Holy crap, what's this? The guest list at a king's birthday party?
Hey, that's not even a bad guess.
What do you make of it?
This piece of paper's from so high up where I've never been myself, boys, so don't ask me.
And a frightened cat.
We spoke to Natasha. She's scared.
Well, it's not good life insurance to be the girl of the most powerful gangster in the city.
It's not about that. Someone's been writing offensive messages to her. She feels threatened.
I only know that every second husband in the city wants to have her, and every second wife wants to wring her neck because of that. Nothing else.
Thanks, Zip, but we're not any further ahead.
But not further back, right?
Well, he's got a point. Alright, let's get out of here. Anything new about the hive?
This quiet. You know, I understand why Zip escaped here when he got out of his shady dealings.
It's not possible to get all the way out, Marty.
What? So, you also stay a cop even after retirement?
Every cop stays a cop. It burns itself into you.
That's good to know. So am I gonna stay a cop forever?
Sorry, Marty.
Well, that's that.
All right.
No matter how big the city is, Marty, I feel more and more like I'm living in prison.
Hey, it's not too late to skip off, boss. You only have 121 days left, right?
120. Then, retirement.
So, what's keeping you?
I don't know. I could have left even earlier, but the city won't let me go.
You're afraid of change, huh?
Everyone's afraid of change on a certain level. But no, that's not what I'm talking about. The city just keeps pulling me back. If it wasn't for this case, I could have drunk myself to death.
Even the afterlife is better than Clawville.
Sometimes I think that.
I think you're beyond help, boss.
All right, sweet.